Good morning and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's show, please do me a small favour. If you're watching for the first time today, make sure to subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're just about to hit 42,300 subscribers. So please go and do that now if you haven't already. On the show today, we will be reacting to Manchester United's win over Athletic Club yesterday. We'll also be talking a bit about Cherki, with Ruben Amorim responding to the potential transfer. We'll also be talking about Gyokeres. We'll be talking about Cunha. Obviously talking heavily about this Europa League final, which is, well, it is literally the biggest game probably in the last 10 years, maybe, since the last Europa League final. So, yeah, how's everyone feeling this morning? I guess you're all feeling pretty happy. Through to the final. Was it 7-1 on aggregate? Yeah. 7-1 on aggregate. 7-1 on aggregate. We did make it a little bit difficult at times yesterday, but overall, we're through to the final. We scored 4 goals. We scored 7 goals across 2 legs against a team that have the best defensive record in the whole of Europe. Mason Mount was quality. Lenny Yoro was quality. There was loads of good performances yesterday. So, yeah, it was enjoyable. I think it would have been nothing short of a disaster if we had lost that game yesterday. Not lost, sorry. If we'd have not made it through to the final, it would have been a disaster, which we can all agree on, right? We had to make it through to the final. There's no other way of sugarcoating it. So, yeah, I'm obviously feeling very positive this morning. I think this game against Tottenham's not going to be easy, but what I would say is we do have maybe a little bit more experience in bigger games. I looked yesterday, the last time that Tottenham won a trophy, I think was in 2008. Yeah, 2008 was the last time they won a trophy, and that was the Carabao Cup. So it's been 17 years since Tottenham last won a trophy of any kind, which is completely mad, isn't it? When you think that we're supposedly in our worst run in Premier League history, and we've won a trophy last season and the season before, and Tottenham haven't won anything for 17 years. So they can obviously be highly motivated as a Manchester United, but obviously in this situation here, we do have quite a lot of experience in this team of big game players. You know, people like Casemiro, people like De Ligt. Obviously, Onana's played in Champions League finals. He played in the Europa League final that we beat Ajax in. Like, there's lots of players in this team who've played in finals before, which hopefully will give us that advantage. Whether or not it will, we'll have to wait and see. But it is a huge game, as we all know, and I think, I don't know, the most interesting thing that from Ruben Amorim's press conference was that he said he doesn't know what team's going to come out, and that's how we all feel as fans, and it's so refreshing that the Manchester United manager feels the same as how we feel, if that makes sense. So it's like almost impossible to predict what Man United you're going to get. We might go and beat Tottenham 4-0, or we might lose 4-0. You know, there's no, I don't know if calmness is the right word. There's no guarantees. That's the word I'm looking for. There's no guarantees with this team. It could go either way, which makes it enjoyable for the neutral, you know, someone who's, sorry, for the neutral, not the mutual, for the neutral, someone who's just watching for their own, doesn't support either team and is just watching it for enjoyment, because either team could easily win that game. Whereas, you know, if you look at the PSG Inter final, PSG are the favourites. It'll be a shock if PSG don't win. Whereas in this one now, like, let's have a look. Let's have a look at who the favourite is. Europa League final winner odds. Let's see what the bookies are saying. I always think it's interesting to see what the bookies have to say. So at the moment, let's have a look on Sky Bet. So at the moment, Manchester United are slightly the favourites, like by a tiny margin. Yeah, but like the smallest amount in relation to the bookies. So it's pretty much 50-50 in relation to who's going to win this game. Yeah, I don't know how to predict it. I would like to think that we have experience and we would then go on to win the game, but it could go either way, couldn't it? In relation to injuries, at least we know that Amad Diallo will be back, or is back, which is great. Mason Mount is obviously back. Luke Shaw seems to be back fit. Great. Kobe Mainoo's back fit. Maybe De Ligt will be back. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe Joshua Zirkzee will be back. We could be with a full-strength team by the time that Europa League final comes around. And the only thing that we can kind of worry about now is injuries. We need to wrap these players up with cotton wool. We need to make sure that between now and the end of the season, the players get enough game time, but their game time's managed. And that has to be the goal here, Like, we can't get any more injuries between now and the end of the season. It probably will happen because that's just how football is. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, how are you feeling about this final? I assume you're all feeling happy this morning. But yeah, how's everyone feeling? Are you excited? Are you worried? Are you nervous? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. I'm obviously very excited. Massive game. I think we can do it, is what I'm trying to say here. I think we can do it. I don't know if confident is the right word, but yeah, I think we can do it. Let me know what you guys think, though. Do you reckon we can do it? Can we beat Tottenham in this final? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It would be... Do you know what, right? All jokes aside, it would be an absolute disaster if we were the team that allowed Tottenham to win their first trophy in 17 years, wouldn't it? I don't even want to imagine the trolling that would come after that if we were the team that allowed that to happen. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I don't even want to picture it. It's a scary thought, isn't it? And maybe you think I'm being a bit dramatic, but it is a bit of a scary thought that we're the team that Tottenham get their first trophy in 17 years off. You know that we're just going to be trolled by rival fans for God knows how long if that happened. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, but yeah, I'm happy, in short. I'm a very happy man this morning. I think for me, at the beginning of the year, the Europa League was always the goal. When Ruben Amorim was the manager, I always said that if we could win any trophy this season, it would be the Europa League. And I know people are going to be like, what are you on about? We could have won the Premier League. We could have won... I just thought that the Europa League was the next realistic progression to go from the League Cup in the first year, then the FA Cup, then the Europa League. That would be like you're progressing every single season. So I'm happy with where we are. Obviously, the Premier League has been an absolute joke. Don't get me wrong. It's been terrible. But realistically, I feel like we just gave up on the Premier League a little while ago. When we realised we couldn't get relegated, when we realised we couldn't get into the top 10, it was like, what are we even playing for? It was effectively pointless. And whether you like that or not, I know some people would say, well, every game is a big game for Manchester United. We shouldn't be throwing away Premier League games and all the rest of it. But when there's nothing to play for, like, does it really matter? But yeah, I'm feeling happy today, as you can probably tell. I'm feeling positive. So yeah, good news all round, I guess. Okay, let's move on from that. Let's talk a little bit about Cherki then, shall we? So yesterday before the game, Ruben Amorim was asked by a fan outside Old Trafford about whether Manchester United... The fan said something along the lines of, you should sign Cherki. And Ruben Amorim said no, quite firmly, and shook his head. Now, I don't know whether this has something to do with Cherki's behaviour when he came to Old Trafford, obviously for Lyon a couple of weeks ago. He wasn't behaving in the most professional way, let's say. Yeah, I don't know. I think Cherki's a good player, but from what I've seen of him, from his kind of character and his attitude, I'm not sure whether he is what we need. I feel like he could be an issue, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is the person we need. I'm a little bit cautious because I think at the moment we do have a relatively good dynamic in this group. Like, everybody's working hard. There isn't really any egos. And I feel like he potentially is one of those types of players who you bring in and could potentially cause problems. He might not, but I don't know. But anyway, so Ruben Amorim, in this video that's on social media this morning, saying no to Cherki and that we're not going to sign him. So whether or not that's true, we'll obviously have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't know. I think for the amount of money that Ryan Cherki would cost. I think he's a good signing, but I'm still not sure whether he's kind of the player that we should be going for. But obviously, you can let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. Right, let's see what else we've got to talk about. The latest on Gyokeres this morning is that apparently Gyokeres is up for joining Manchester United if we get Champions League football. So in the next 2 weeks, obviously, we will know the answer to that question, won't we? We'll know whether we have Champions League football. I would love to see Ryan Cherki at Manchester United. I think he's absolutely quality. Sorry, not Ryan Cherki, Gyokeres. I would love to see Gyokeres at Manchester United. I think he's absolutely quality. But I don't know. It's crazy how much pressure there is on Manchester United to win that game against Tottenham. If we beat Tottenham, we'll probably get Gyokeres. If we don't beat Tottenham, we'll probably get Liam Delap. Like, there's so many examples that I can give here of, depending on the outcome of that game against Tottenham, will pretty much decide our future. Obviously, we know that Arsenal are circling for Gyokeres. We know that. But yeah. All right, let's see what people are saying in the chat this morning. A couple of people are saying they're not sure about Gyokeres. I think Gyokeres is very talented. I think he'd be a good signing. But obviously, it depends on whether we get Champions League football, doesn't it, really? A couple of people are saying they don't understand the hype around Cherki. I don't know. I think he's just one of those players that, like, for whatever reason, there's hype around. I don't know why. I've never thought he was that great, personally. I think he's decent. And I think the reason why a lot of people like him is... the reason a lot of people like Ryan Cherki is because of his price tag. He's relatively cheap. I think he's got a 25 million release clause and he's only 23. So there is real potential there in the sense that you could bring him in for 25 million and he could be a 50, 60 million pound player in the next couple of years. You know, that's probably why people are so excited about him, I think. But yeah, I do kind of agree. I think as much as I like elements of Ryan Cherki's game, I'm not sure that he's the right fit at the moment for Manchester United. And it seems like Ruben Amorim agrees with that statement. But yeah, the final story we've got for you is on Cunha. Cunha. So the latest on Cunha is effectively that the deal is almost done, as we know. I reckon we'll probably wait until after the I nearly said the Champions League final there. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. I think we'll wait until after the Europa League final to announce any deal for Matheus Cunha. I don't really see... I mean, maybe they announce it before. I mean, that would be a massive mood boost, wouldn't it? But I personally think they'll wait until after the final. If they lose, I think they'll announce it pretty quickly. If they win, maybe they'll, wait until around the time that we bring the trophy back to Manchester, or they'll do something that maximizes the brand awareness, if that makes sense. So, like, for example, last night we finished the game, we win the game, we're through to the final, and within 20 seconds, genuinely within 20 seconds, I have an email from Manchester United seeing if I want to sign up for membership for next season within 20 seconds. And that's how effectively they operate, They capitalize on like positive moments in the team. Which makes sense. And I'm sure loads of people will have got that email after a really positive night and would have signed up for the membership, and Man United would have made loads of money. So I do get it. But yeah, at the same time, I don't know how it will play out with the Cherki thing, That's the thing that I don't really... Sorry, not Cherki. I keep saying Cherki, don't I? I don't know how it will play out with the Cunha thing. I don't know at what point they'll announce it. Will they wait until like something bad happens, or will they do it before? That's kind of the stumbling block that I don't know the answer to right now. But Yeah, I'm excited. I think everything's looking a little bit more positive. Obviously, the Premier League's been awful, but we've thrown it away anyway. Like we're not really going for the Premier League at the moment, are we? So yeah. Right. I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on the show this morning. I will be back tomorrow as normal. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. What else have I got to say before I go? I think that's it. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll speak to you all later. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye for now.